Welcome to Winging It. We're doing deck upgrades today in Arkham Horror the card game. This is Progression Dunwich with Agnes and Wendy, meaning we're only using cards from the core and the Dunwich Legacy cycle. This is going into Undimensioned and Unseen because we banked an XP for each of them last time and we earned 4 XP. We actually have 5 XP to spend. Also, they earned allies. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go ahead and put Zebulon Whately into Agnes here. She gets it doesn't count to her deck size, so she gets to add him in 2 willpower icons at the very least, which is nice, but also gives her a willpower boost, and after you succeed a willpower boost on treachery, exhaust him and draw 1 card, which is really nice for the card draw. And so we'll just stick him in here. He's an ally. So I was considering, and I mused that I might get a charisma, but I'm actually not going to. I think, I can either play him or Peter. He's got plenty of horror soak. He doesn't have the agility that Peter has, but he does have the card draw. So I think whichever one comes up first, I'll be happy to get into play. And I don't really need to get charisma to play more than one. So yeah, I'm feeling okay with that. Okay, and then so my next upgrade is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and take Book of Shadows. So this goes in a hand slot. It gives you 1 additional arcane slot, so we can run more spells if we want to. Or, a second copy of Right of Seeking, or a second copy of Shriveling, or, whatever. And then it also has an action to exhaust Book of Shadows to add 1 charge to a spell asset you control. So this will give us an infinite number of uses of Shriveling or Right of Seeking, as long as we are willing to take an action to do it. It's very expensive. This is the first time I've ever actually played this card, and I know it's not really one that's that people value a lot, but there's not a lot of options in my card pool, and I wanted to give it a shot. Again, running out of charges is a thing, so being able to put more on is a pretty good thing. So anyway, we're going to take out Flashlight because it's not incredibly useful for us, and it does compete for the hand slot, so we'll just put Book of Shadows in. And then for our other 2 remaining XP, we're just going to upgrade Fearless. It's good. The upgraded version I think is a lot better than the level 0. It gives you the willpower boost, to 2 icons, and then of course if you succeed by 2, you get the extra healing of horror. So not that Agnes has really struggled with horror too much, but it's still a pretty good card in her, and I imagine it could be useful. So anyway, that's where we are with Agnes. Let's go take a look at Wendy. Okay, and now Wendy also has 5 XP to spend. So the first thing is we did earn the story asset. It's the Powder of Benghazi, and it is going to get X clues on it, where X is the number of characters who survived the Dunwich Legacy, which would be 4. And then we remove 1 clue. We have a free trigger to move 1 clue to an exhausted Brood or Yogg Sothoth at your location. I gave it to her because she's going to be the one most likely to do the evading. So we'll give her this permanent up here. And then we have 5 XP to spend because we also banked 1 with her. We are, I should have also said that we're also taking Professor Warren Rice in her, which will give her an intellect boost, and then after you discard the last remaining clue at a location, you can exhaust him and draw 1 card. So a nice little ally there. So now we've got gobs of allies. Because of that, I'm spending 3 of her 5 XP to pick up another charisma so that we can actually have 3 allies down at once, which is a lot. But because I'm playing it straight and I'm not proxying charisma, that means I won't be taking charisma with Agnes, which is a potential thing I could have done. And actually, charisma is one of those cards that I am usually willing to proxy, but I'm playing it straight because we're recording, and this is billed as a progression run, so I'm keeping it to just the collection that I own, which is only 2 copies of Charisma, or that is available to me. Finally, we had exiled 1 copy of Flare last scenario, so I'm spending 1 XP to put Flare back in my deck, because getting those allies out, obviously we have a very ally-centric deck. So, alright, let's go play Undimensioned and Unseen.